It is a pretty bold move to start up a business for anyone, really. To take an idea that's your passion, invest a bit of money, maybe invest a lot of money, and take a punt, a gamble that it's all going to work out. How much harder, though, is that to do from a small town in regional Queensland? They are undoubtedly lovely places to live, but when it comes to creating a business, and finding customers and progressing your business, making it grow. The tyranny of distance, I would imagine, could well be your biggest enemy. But that is where Canvas Co-working's incubator program, Flair, comes into it. At the moment, there's 9 female-led businesses that will form part of the incubator program, which is about to launch. And these 9 were chosen from businesses all across Queensland after a selection boot camp where they had to present their business and pitch their ideas for getting access to not just national markets but international markets. They've come up with 9, and among those 9 taking part is Candace Mason. Candace is from Chinchilla, and she runs a business that she created called My Felt Lady. Let's find out a little bit more. Candace, good morning and welcome. Lovely to have a chat to you.
Hi, how are you going?
Very, very well. Thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on making it into the incubator program.
Yeah, no, it was a very crazy experience, but it was really wonderful to find out that I got to be a part of this program. Yeah.
I would imagine that selection process would have been pretty grueling, and I want to ask you about that in a moment. But firstly, just give me a bit of a background of My Felt Lady. So you created it from Chinchilla, or did you create it and then move to Chinchilla?
I created it when I was living here in Chinchilla and couldn't find work. It was just crazy to try and get childcare, and it was expensive, and then to try and find work that could cover that. And I just thought to myself, I had these skills that I continued to offer other businesses, and I thought, why don't I just put these skills and make them benefit for myself and my family and our life? So I just took a punt and just created an online business, and it exploded from there.
And how far back are we going? When was this?
So this was in 2014. So this was about a year after I had my second child, and we just bought a house here in Chinchilla, and then I was working for a company here in town, a craft hobby shop here in town, and then I got let go because of just the downfall of the gas industry at that period. And I just thought I really loved that industry, and because I was crafty myself, I thought, well, why don't I just put my sales expertise and craft together and see what I could create.
You make it sound relatively easy the way you describe it. You know,
I know.
Two kids.
In my head, I'm thinking, this is. Everyone's going, oh wow, this sounds really easy. No,
what we're getting now at the moment for people listening is the sanitized version.
Yes,
but
there was a lot of heartache, but yeah.
and all this while trying to raise 2 kids as well. One of them a newborn. What was the biggest challenge in trying to do it from Chinchilla?
Well, in my mind, I've always known that one of the best products that you can deliver in a sales industry or in retail is a consumable product. And I wanted to try and find a product that people had trouble getting a hold of. And I thought to myself, I'd stumbled across these beautiful sewing patterns by Australian designers that were just stunning. And I thought, wow, I would love to try and see if these worked. Well, they really didn't, because they were also available as a PDF version online, and I was trying to sell a hard copy, and that didn't really work. But in the patterns, they needed wool felt. And I thought, well, I can barely find this product in Australia. I might see if I can get it in. And then when I was trying to put 2 and 2 together, sell them as a kit, I started to notice that the felt was selling more, and then I just started to buy more of that in, and then it sold more, and then it just grew year after year after year. And now I have a whole entire craft room, or front office / craft room, with bolts and bolts and bolts of felt.
Wow.
Like hundreds and hundreds of meters of it.
But that's interesting in itself, because I would imagine, I mean, what you started with, that was your first idea, so that was obviously something you were really passionate about. But how hard is it to be flexible and to change your course when you realise that even though this was your idea, the customer really wants this, and this wasn't part of your grand plan? Is it? Did you have to adapt to make yourself flexible to think like that?
Well, just in my head, I knew that. I thought, well, there's this. It's such an underappreciated product. When I first got it in, and I first, felt the difference. No pun intended. But when I was, playing with the product myself and making something and sewing things, and I thought, why aren't people using more and more of this? Well, it's such an incredible product. And then, once I started to line myself up with the designers and learn more about it and work more with them, with their platforms and their social networks, once we started to work together, and I started to realise, oh my gosh, this is my product, this is my niche. I need to go with it. And I was in a way very lucky with making that decision. And after months or even years of research and working with suppliers, we've managed to develop one of the largest collections. So
that's great, and then that became your passion. So it wasn't so much a compromise that became the new passion. Yeah, it was it. I just wanted to deliver an amazing product that is just so versatile, can be used in so many different ways, and So then I just ran with it. So obviously it sounds like things went, really well, and the tyranny of distance that I talked about earlier, obviously thanks to, online, marketing and social media and the technological advances that we take for granted these days, that made it possible to source customers around the country. But what was it that made you want to apply for this incubator program to take things to the next step? Were things starting to sort of stagnate, or tell me about that?
Well, I felt like our Australian market love our product, and I thought, well, it's only natural for me to think that the world would. Why not? Why not the US? Why not the UK? Why not Europe? I've managed to collect 6 years worth of data and sales and grow our product. Why can't I develop this overseas? And I just didn't have the tools. I have no idea where to go, who to contact, what to do to my website to get these sales. Would there be marketing? Would it be a completely new website? So I'd been thinking about this for probably maybe 12 months, going back and forth with research online, and I'm also part of a program here in town called Business Navigators, who's helping me on the finance side of things, sorting out our profit lines and product management and that sort of things. But I just thought I really needed, to try and break the international market. And I was just on Facebook one day, and on Candace Co-working, it came up with this Flair incubator program, and I read the guidelines, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is it. I tick every single one of their boxes that they're looking for, and I just gave it a try and applied, got through to boot camp. Felt like I was going to die by the end of it. I was just so exhausted. It was just such a those 2 days, I felt like I got so much information out of those 2 days. I already knew, regardless of whether I was going to get into the program, I knew where I was going. So
that's brilliant.
And then, that's
brilliant. And so getting into it was just the bonus. Although, and this is something I wanted to ask you. It's interesting. If you've just come in, by the way, it's 9 to 10. David Iliffe with you. I'm having a chat to Candace Mason this morning. Candace runs a business called My Felt Lady out of Chinchilla, and she is one of 9 businesses from across our region that have been taken in as part of the incubator program, the Flair incubator program, put on by Candace Co-working in Toowoomba, which will equip these business owners with the skills to hopefully take their business international. Candace, the part of the boot camp, obviously, though, was pitching, what your idea would be to make your business sort of go international, and why you thought that would work. And I often think that must be really confronting too, because an idea can look great in your head, like some things we say. They sound great in your head, but when you say them, you think, that maybe this is not great after all. Was that quite confronting to have to do that?
Well, I had been actually exposed to it before. I was part of a pitch challenge in 2018 through the Business Navigators here in Western Downs. And so I had a tiny bit of background there, like to sort of help me through this, but also through the program. So over those 2 days, we had all of these workshops where they provided us with all the tools and all the information on how we could get our idea onto paper and out of our mouth to share with them what we wanted and how we think our idea would be great for the program, and how they could help us, go international. So the 2 days was just hardcore workshops, writing your ideas down, getting it onto paper. Yeah, it was proper full on. But so I think all of us that were there were like working together as well. So it wasn't just about us going in as individuals. We were all working as a team. So there were 12 of us in the beginning, and we were all, sent off into rooms, into little groups, and we would pitch to each other, and then we would critique each other and give each other advice. So it wasn't just about going in there on your own. It was such a massive support from Joy and David at Canvas Co-working, as well as the rest of the team. So it was like we just suddenly created this little family.
That's great. So, and again, the bonus was that you ended up being one of the 9.
Yes.
And just really quickly, because I'm nearly out of time, but where to from here? So this program over the next, couple of months?
4 months.
4 months?
4 months, all the way through until Christmas.
Wow, it's a big commitment. And what do you want to take away at the end of it?
So at the end, what I want for my business is to breach the international market with our product. So I want to create this and have it delivered from our hometown in Chinchilla. I want it to create jobs and to create an environment where it's not susceptible to, the drought or the highs and lows of the gas industry, where the income comes from all over the world. So that's my view, because that was a problem that I had originally, where I couldn't find work and I was having trouble to find work. That I want this business to create a new way of living in the rural sector, and hopefully encourage anybody else out there that has these ideas that going through Canvas Co-working or finding these networks is a great way to help develop it.
Well, I wish you the best luck with it. I look forward to maybe catching up at the end of the process and seeing how that's gone. But hopefully, even just our chat this morning might have inspired other people who are, just starting out in their business and thinking, "Wow, this is really tough." That you can absolutely get there. You'll be a felt mogul before you know it.
I'll have everybody crafting or using felt across the world.
That's right, exactly. Yes.
Felt in every home.
And you'll be sitting there in your back room with your cat on your lap. So, what market can I take over next? No, I'm joking. Candace, best of luck, and really great to have a chat to you this morning.
It was lovely to chat to you too. Thanks for having me.